Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, or whatever time you'll be watching this video. Now, guys, let us take a look at a Toronto police scandal that happened abroad. Now, it's a kind of story that shakes public trust to its core. 3 police officers from one of Canada's largest cities, thousands of kilometers away, now facing serious criminal charges in a foreign country. And what began as a vacation quickly turned into an international scandal. And now questions are being asked, not just about what happened in Spain, but about accountability, power, and the limits of the law back home. In mid-May 2026, 3 off-duty police officers from the Toronto Police Service traveled to Barcelona, Spain. They were not on duty, not representing Canada, just tourists. But according to Spanish authorities, that trip took a dark turn. Reports from local police in Barcelona say an incident occurred in the early hours of May 13 inside a taxi in the city's historic district. What happened next would lead to arrests. According to investigators, a woman, reported to be a sex worker, was inside the taxi. The situation escalated into alleged violence and sexual assault. The victim reportedly called for help from inside the vehicle. Police intervened. 2 suspects were arrested at the scene. A third was later located and arrested in Mallorca days later. At least one of the officers faces charges of sexual assault and bodily harm. Another faced allegations related to assault or resisting law enforcement. These are serious accusations, and importantly, they are now being handled under Spanish law. Now, here's where things get complicated, because this case didn't happen in Canada, it happened in Spain, and that means the investigation is led by Spanish police. The charges fall under Spanish criminal law, and any trial, if it proceeds, will take place in Spain. Toronto police have confirmed the officers were off duty, on personal travel, and not acting in any official capacity. But even so, their actions, if proven, carry massive implications back home. After the arrests, the officers returned to Canada. And here's where public controversy exploded. All 3 officers were suspended with pay. Yes, paid. Even while facing serious criminal charges abroad. Why? The answer lies in Ontario's policing laws. Under the Community Safety and Policing Act, officers can only be suspended without pay under specific conditions, and those include being charged with a serious offense under Canadian law or being convicted or in custody. But these charges were laid in Spain, not in Canada, which creates what experts are calling a legal gap. This case has exposed a critical issue. What happens when police officers are charged outside Canada? Under current legislation, foreign charges don't automatically trigger unpaid suspension. Chiefs have limited authority to act. Officers can remain on payroll. Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkiw acknowledged this limitation publicly. And now, Ontario's Solicitor General has announced a review of the law. Because this isn't just about 3 officers anymore. It's about whether the system itself is equipped to handle misconduct beyond national borders. Public reaction has been swift and intense. Officials have called the allegations serious, troubling, and requiring immediate attention. Toronto's police board emphasized something critical. Public trust must be maintained because policing depends on legitimacy, and legitimacy depends on accountability. But this case doesn't exist in isolation. The Toronto Police Service have already been facing scrutiny, including ongoing investigations into corruption and misconduct. So when this story broke, it didn't just raise eyebrows, it raised alarms. There's also a global dimension to this story. When officers travel abroad, they don't leave their identity behind. They still represent their department, their country, and their authority. And when something goes wrong, it becomes an international issue. This case now involves Canadian law enforcement, Spanish judicial authorities, and diplomatic sensitivities. And the key question, will these officers face trial in Spain? If so, they could be required to return. This story forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Should police be held to a higher standard even off duty? Should foreign charges carry the same consequences as domestic ones? And how do we balance due process with public accountability? Because right now, the system is caught in between, not fully able to act, but fully exposed to criticism. 3 officers, 1 incident, thousands of miles from home, but the impact felt right here in Canada. As investigations continue and legal processes unfold, one thing is certain. This case will shape conversations about policing for years to come, because trust, once shaken, is never easily restored. What do you guys think? Should officers charged abroad be suspended without pay? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as usual, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more investigative breakdowns and for stories like these. Thank you for watching, and catch you on the next one.